Dear viewers and listeners, welcome to this video. We are going to discussing about imperialism and its types. Imperialism is the practice, theory, or attitude of maintaining or extending power over foreign nation, particularly through expansionism, especially not only hard power but also soft power. Imperialism focuses on establishing and maintaining hegemony and more or less formal empires. Different nations set out to build empire all over the world like none that had been seen before. They were driven by the need to provide raw material for their industrial capacity, and the type of goods exchanged were determined by that need. Europeans began building their empires in the Western Hemisphere in the early 15th century, but by the 18th century, Spain and Portugal were no longer powerful countries, and the largest British colony had become the United States. British, France, Germany, Russia, and the Netherlands continued to colonize during this era, but they also devised other ways to separate their empires. In the late 19th century, Japan and United States joined the European nations as an imperialist powers. So, types of imperialism in 18th century included colonial imperialism. This form of imperialism is virtual complete takeover of an area, with domination in all areas such as economics, political, and socio-cultural. The subjugated area existed to benefit the imperialist's power and had almost no independence of action. In this era, almost all of Africa and Southern and Southeast Asia were colonized. So there is request to the new viewers. Please subscribe and like to my channel. So, economic imperialism. This form of imperialism allowed the area to operate as its own nation, but the imperialist nation also completely controlled its trade and other businesses. For example, it may impose regulations that forbid trade with other nations, or imperialist companies may own or have exclusive right to its natural resources. During this era, China and most of Latin America were subjected to economic imperialism. So, political imperialism. Although a country may have had its own government with native in top political positions, it operated as the imperialist country told it to. The government was sometimes as relatively permanent puppet government as happened in late Qing China, and other time the control was temporary, as occurred in the Dominican Republic when the United States ran its government until it got out of debts. So, socio-cultural imperialism. The dominating country deliberately tried to change customs, religion, and language in some of the countries. A good example was British India, where English was taught in schools. Indian soldiers dressed British style, and Western trade rules were set up. Generally, the imperialist countries assumed their cultures to be superior, and oftentimes they saw themselves as bringing about improvement in the society. So, this was imperialism and its type. I hope you will get something new from my video. Best of luck.